has been, for me at least, unless they're being nice to me, they're coming back and giving me an extremely positive reaction, saying you're absolutely spot on. This is what we need to do. We're seeing the same requests from customers about increasing our relevance and driving new solutions and new capabilities. We saw I felt a lot of very positive reaction from the partners and the announcements on the solutions program, the marketplace, the building out the ecosystem, and then obviously the opportunities that we went into and trying to make it real for them from a high level, where John's high level on S+CC and the internet of everything, and his descriptions of Barcelona and Israel to, okay, what can they do when they walk out? One comment came back and said, I can't believe only 6 partners are generating 50% of that industrial switching and routing and wireless business, and why aren't I participating? So, I think the messages got across, and it's been very positive. I'd love to hear your reactions.
No, I think so. I had a lot of one-on-ones, or a few one-on-ones after that. I think, John's demo with the trash and the Internet of Everything, and if we're going to put chips on the trash, can you imagine if that's on the bottom of the totem pole, the way in which we think about things, the trash, think about all the opportunities upstream. And I think that was a lot of the partners were kind of excited about what that might mean, and then how we can go more global in doing that.
Yes.
On the channel partner side, a lot of change we announced today. We always at Partner Summit introduce new places to focus, new investments to try to capture new market opportunities. But this year, it was a little bit about not only doing that, but also now saying it's time for the things that we've been incenting you in the past, it's time to make it a requirement. So this next generation partner program, to try to bring that last 1/3 of the market that hasn't gone there yet, is really what that changes tries to accomplish. Because if you think about it, when you incent partners, that's good, they start to go. But there's always that 1/3 of the market that doesn't go there. And therefore, until you make it a requirement, that they start to go. So it's all part of the cycle of change. And I think most of what I've heard so far has been very positive. But again, love to hear your feedback.
All right, so with that, let's go ahead and open it up to questions. Again, open mic, so I'll walk around. If you can, just say your name and your outlet that you're from, and then please ask your question. So who would like to start?
Me.
Okay, all right.
Maricela Ochoa from Mexico. How to manage the uncertainty that could fill the channel when there is a modification to traditional program? How to manage that? Transition. I don't know what to expect.
Yeah. In other words, you or the partner doesn't know.
The partner.
Yes. Well, that's one thing that I think we've also learned, is that trying to make changes and make it effective tomorrow morning is difficult. They need time to adopt to the change. So that's why most of the changes that we're talking about, we're going to give partners 16 to 24 months to make that change. So this is not something, for those that want to move fast, we're going to encourage them to. And we'll incent them to, like we did with that special offer I made today, where I'll pay 80% of the training of the partners to get the new certification. We're going to make that incentive for the next 12 months. But they have 16 to 24 months to actually make the changes. So the key is to not make it a flash cut and give them the time to effectively, and I would say within a proper time to change.
Thank you.
Hi, Edison. It's Paul from Pure Demon News. No minimum customer sat score. You and I were here 12 years ago when you announced VIP, and you and Paul Malford were really hitting home that customer sat score and why you needed the channel to raise the standard of quality, and the fact that you're all these incentives out there that you need to earn it. And now you're going sat score. Just wondering, what's your thought on that?
Yeah, well, that's a great question, because a lot of people think, well, if you're not making it a requirement, does it not matter as much? And I think that for us, what happened was, and I think you heard John Chambers say it, that the customer sat score that partners had with customers 10, 12 years ago, it was below 4. It was not in the world-class range. It was below. So it was important for us to incent the partners to move towards making customer satisfaction a major care about. And I think that has actually happened. We're now at a 4.54 for the last 6, 7 years with the partners. So it's no longer an issue of them focusing on it. All of them do customer sat, and we want to continue to have them do that. But we also found that a lot of folks were saying, hey, I have so much investment in being a gold partner. If I miss that, I could lose my certification, and is that fair? And with on average them being as high as they are, we felt that that was another area to simplify, but we are going to hold them accountable to make sure they delight the customer. So they're not off the hook.
Hi, I'm Sam from CRN UK. I'd be interested to hear what you think the perception among both end users and partners is currently of the master certification as compared with the perception of gold partner certification, and whether or not you've got some work to do over the next year or two in terms of building up awareness and appreciation of the master badge.
I'll take that, and then you're Sherman as well. I think that first thing that we're doing too is internally making sure that our sales teams really understand that we are really leveling the master brand on with the gold brand, because a lot of it is also our internal sales teams need to have that understanding as well as they start working with partners. And then I think you'll see from us more of a branding marketing campaign around that master brand being as valuable as gold for those partners that really want to specialize in that data center specialty, or security and cybersecurity is becoming a big specialty, or collaboration on some of the other new specializations that Edison talked about. So I think we'll have a two-pronged strategy, making sure our own teams understand the value, and then the market and the customers understand the value.
So one of the beauties of our program that we've always tried to define within the channel partner program, is the notion of depth and breadth. We believe that we want to leave enough room for partners to choose the business model that makes the most sense for them. If they want to be gold and be able to carry the end-to-end product line and have that breadth of a relationship with Cisco, then there's a requirement to do that, and that's what that gold requirement is. But if the partner says, you know what, I'm not interested in that, I'm interested in a few different categories or areas of focus, and therefore being more master. And then we wanted to make sure that not only do we have a brand for them, but we also have the economic benefit. So therefore, if you're a master, you're going to get extra discounts in the VIP, which is also what we do for the gold. So what we've done is try to level the playing field, but allow the options for the partner to choose the business model that makes sense for them. Thank you for asking.
Piero Macri from Italy. The transformation that you talked about, it's a very heavy one, and I guess it's going to take a very long time to achieve, to be successful. How many of your partners do you think that right now are ready to deliver immediately services, cloud services? I mean, among the thousands of partners that you have, how many are cloud ready and maybe are already delivering some services of that?
So let me ask Bob to maybe answer that, because he manages.
I actually can give you that exact.
He can give you the exact stat. He manages that program.
We have about 136 partners that are selling cloud services today.
So that are the providers.
They're cloud providers.
Cloud providers. So that, from a cloud perspective, what they're selling in the marketplace.
So how many?
136.
Not resellers.
They're cloud
providers.
They're selling TP as a service, contact centers as a service, hosted collaboration solutions, or infrastructure as a service. And we have a pretty good mix worldwide. It's pretty geographically dispersed in terms of where those partners are and those providers are. Right behind that, we have another couple hundred partners that are reselling our cloud providers offer, which means we already have a whole community of partners that are actually starting to make that transformation or being interested in moving from a one-time CapEx model to an annuity-based model. And then we have over 100 partners outside of those partners who've actually taken the step to go through our business transformational workshops, which are full-blown workshops to really give them a true understanding of all the things they need to take into consideration as they move their business models from a one-time CapEx model to an annuity-based model. So there's a lot of interest. that's happening. A lot of cloud providers in the marketplace, cloud resellers, and then we've got a whole other community of partners right behind that want to join those types of partners.
So Bob, I'm going to compliment that because obviously all of those facts are true, but one more element of selling cloud is a lot of the Cisco branded cloud offers, like WebEx or like, Meraki. There are thousands of partners selling those, and those are cloud offers as well. So while we have partner branded and partner, originated providers and offers, we also have some of the Cisco. And we think that the new cloud announcement that we announced is actually going to proliferate even more offers in the marketplace that resellers can sell. So I don't think it's as long a transition as you think. I think the biggest question is partners choosing to say, am I going to resell somebody else's versus am I going to be my own provider? And we don't think everybody should be a provider, but we do believe everybody should be a reseller of somebody's cloud.
And I would just say what we introduced around the inter-cloud fabric and making hybrid IT a real reality and a differentiator for them, and then the ability for them to come to Cisco and be a reseller of these Cisco branded cloud offers that we announced. I mean, tremendous feedback from the channel saying, now I can get in and be a reseller of these services and offer my customers a hybrid IT choice.
You don't speak about new products this year at the Cisco Partner Summit?
We had a couple of announcements yesterday on the data center side, and I think we have some new announcements also coming out tomorrow. But Partner Summit has never been a big forum or a vehicle for us to make technology announcements. We like to try to focus on all the things that we're doing for the partners. But we do this year have data center, some announcements and some products there, and I think we also have one coming up tomorrow, if I'm not mistaken, on mobility.
And the other thing is there were some major announcements in the collaboration space that was announced. That was Enterprise Connect last week. Enterprise Connect last week. They'll reintroduce that again tomorrow in the collaboration breakout. Rowan Charles is going to be running that. But I'm telling you, this is some amazing new products in the video and in the UC space that you're going to want to look at. It is bringing usability into really right down to the customer perspective on how easy it is to use these products, price points that are the perfect price point for the market, game-changing announcements that we announced last week in collaboration.
Yeah, we can give you the press release from the collab announcements, and we'll also make sure that you have access stuff from yesterday's UCS announcements.
And also the connected mobility experience that I mentioned today, the actual access point is new, the mobility service engine software and the platform, that's all new as well. That's announced here.
Hi, my name is Felipe from Brazil. Talking about numbers, how many of these new profile partners are you looking for? And my second question is, Chambers mentioned this morning that every company is becoming an IT company. So are you considering partnership with non-traditional IT companies to sell your kind of solutions?
Well, I think you're going to see that. If we talk about the Internet of Things and Internet of Everything, companies, car manufacturing companies, who are seeing that they might have specific expertise in a certain area that they realize that they can monetize that and sell to other car manufacturers. They are looking to become an Internet of Things offer, and they absolutely could become part of our solution partner program and leverage the channel to actually help them scale their business. So I think this is going to open up all new opportunities for companies that you don't think are IT companies that become IT companies because of the Internet of Everything, as well as traditional companies and partnerships like we have with NetApp and VCE and EMC and Citrix, Microsoft, all those partners as well.
Is the company prepared for this kind of partnerships with no IT companies?
We're prepared, yes.
Well, that's the whole idea of the whole solutions partner program. It's all about creating a value proposition for them to establish a relationship. And I think then give them access to, most of those partners who are not IT partners don't want to start reselling the technology and bringing the solution. So they may work on the application or certain elements that they want to bring. And what they love about the solution partner program is the access to our channel partners, be able to bring that solution together in a total way.
Yeah, Bruce, I was actually going to ask, I think that if we look at the ecosystem, it seems that there's basically two distinct legs. There's the channel partner program, and there's also the solution partner program.
Yes.
And it might be helpful if you could just recap that once again. I think that the channel piece is coming through loud and clear. I think maybe the solution partner program piece needs a little bit more emphasis.
Yeah, the solution partner program is to create a formal relationship with partners that are creating solutions. And it doesn't mean it's just ISVs or certain consultants or software companies, because channel partners deliver solutions, but at times they also create solutions. So when they're creating solutions, that they could come actually into the solution partner program. Those are the partners that are creating solutions. And then we want to connect the channel partners who are delivering the solutions, whatever solutions they're developing, but they also might want to connect with new solutions that we talked about on main stage, and that's where we're using the marketplace so we can really give them a broader portfolio to sell. Does that clear things up a bit?
Yes. Does anyone have any questions on the solution partner program piece? We can address. Okay.
Pass it on there, please. Sure. Hi, Alex Croxton, Microscope in the UK. On Silver Partners, on the end of Silver Partners, effectively, you made it quite clear that you're backing them all the way in terms of moving up to Master and Gold. But in my experience, it always seems that there's some partners who go the other way as well. Do you anticipate many Silver Partners falling back to Premier and Select?
Sure.
And the second half of that question really is, do you have any mechanisms in place to protect Gold partners who might be moving backwards in the program, who might drop off Gold during the transition period?
We're not anticipating losing any Gold partners for the changes that we make. We think that the evolution that we've been on for the last number of years and the time that we're going to give them to make the transition in the next 16 to 20 months, they'll make the transition. We believe that majority, or many, I'll say at least 60% of the Silvers will move to Gold, because most of them went to Silver as a stepping stone to get to Gold anyway. So again, we'll work with them to be able to do that. The other Silvers, again, their certification will be Premier, but their branding will be Master if they want to go down that path. So they get more of an economic benefit and an opportunity to promote that Master brand. So we do believe that we'll have a much better and more, I would say, viable branding strategy for them and economic benefit for them by maybe being Premier and Master or being Gold. So that's how we think about it, and we think that most of the partners that we spoke to will see that as a plus in time.
Okay.
Hi, I'm Pablo from Buenos Aires. I remember your last keynote the year before when you started to rethink how the new ecosystem of Cisco partners will be. And really well, we are doing some work in that area. But actually, when you go to the Cisco Partner Summit and started to talk with the channels, we don't see really more of the focus channel from software. You mentioned Microsoft Citrix. We can think about IBM WebSphere platform. But these kind of channels aren't here. I'm asked to you if you can define a new mechanism to reuse what the industry already invest in channels. If you are a gold or a platinum partner from IBM or Citrix or Microsoft, you have some right to be here and via the direct path. Could be in the future this idea be considered?
Were you saying, are they here at the Partner Summit, those partners?
A direct mechanism that if you are already a platinum partner of IBM, you probably have a very huge clients, and the relation with Cisco will be more direct than actually be today.
Well, let me comment. It was interesting that this Partner Summit always used to be focused on channel partners, and yes, the majority of the partners here are channel partners. This year, we've actually opened it up, and 20% of the partners that are here are some of these ecosystem partners that are here. We had a big reception last night with, I think, over 750 people, because we had EMC here, and VMware, and
Citrix, and Microsoft, and NetApp, and IBM's here.
Having said that, many of the reason that they're here is because they want to build, and in many cases have a relationship with the Go partners or the Cisco channel partners. So the idea that, like for example, when we do VCE or when we do FlexPod, we're actually promoting the solution to the same partners. They're talking to the same partners that we're talking to. So our goal is to bring new partners in, but at the same time, we're not trying to say because you're platinum with IBM, you automatically go with Cisco, because they're two different portfolios. So while we might have a solution that we're going together, we don't think that there's a need to try to make inherently their Go partner look like ours, because they're in many cases not overlapping businesses, they're only complementary at times.
And plus the certifications are based on capability. So they obviously they've built up a capability, let's say, as an IBM partner, and if they're looking to get into the Cisco ecosystem, they've got to build up the capability on the Cisco platforms. And that's what we test, that capability, so they can deliver successful solutions to the end user customer.
Of course, I'm not thinking about certification. No? I'm thinking about business relationships. The business relationships are not the same with a platinum partner of IBM from a registered partner of IBM. The business relationship will be more direct. That's the point that I try to mention.
Can you go a little deeper into the kind of engagement that you're considering with the partners that want to build cloud within the inter-cloud model?
The relationship of the partners that will be in the intercloud offering as a provider?
The commercial side, let's say the business model with these partners.
So the providers.
The providers of the ecosystem that's going to build up the global public intercloud?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can talk about that.
So do you mean the providers are going
Yeah, I mean, who's going to pay for building the cloud, the infrastructure?
The intercloud. Is that what you're talking
Yeah, that's
about?
what you're talking about. The infrastructure to deliver.
So there's 5 or 6, I'll say, objective criteria that we're looking at in order to consider those partners to be a part of our global supply ecosystem or the intercloud. At the very highest level, there needs to be a trust and a strategic alignment at the CXO level. There has to be. Where is that partner going? Where's that provider going? Where are we going? Right below that, there needs to be a network, or I'll say a vision or an alignment around the importance of the network around cloud. There's not many other cloud providers like Cisco that really value the network and understand the experience and the difference experience the network can deliver to an end user customer. And we can do that together with our cloud providers. So that needs to be very, very important. So the CXO trust and the vision, the importance of the network. It also needs to, is operating a cloud or core competency of that provider. Just keep in mind what we're asking these partners to do. We're asking them to go sell, and Cisco will operate the cloud. So if that's a core competency for that partner, well, they're not going to want to get into the federation or into the ecosystem. It's really, really important that they have a last mile coverage. Do they have a fixed service, fixed wireline service or wireless service, so that this is going to be an internet and a VPN-based offering? VPN, because we're going to be offering SaaS applications, this is a SaaS platform. So we need to make sure that there's protection around those custom, high-value applications that are going out over that. So VPN is really important. So there are basically 4 or 5 different criteria. We'll obviously take a look at that as we move forward and have the discussions with our partners.
Telstra, I think, is a good example of all of
It's a
this.
great example of that. Right? And so I've had a number of discussions with providers and resellers over the last week and a half. And everything's being well received, and everybody wants to be a part of the global supply ecosystem. They want to be a part of the intercloud. So we need to make sure that we're being very judicious in terms of how we have those discussions with those providers.
Hi, I'm Fernando Reyes from Mexico. How do you choose the partners you're going to work with in providing solutions, these big providers? Because there is a lot of companies that don't have any experience dealing with channels. So I'm thinking in Mexico, we have Telmex, and they may sell solutions, but they cannot support that solutions must in the mid-market. So how are you going to choose that kind of enterprise to build?
So to choose in terms of being a provider.
Well, in other words, let's say you took a Telmex, let's say they were one of them. You know, they may not have access to a channel to get to mid-market. How are we going to take those offers or support them in being able to get those kinds of services into the market at large? Is how I understood it.
Yeah. So, you know, we can, so there's a couple of ways that we can go to market with these partners. Most of these partners, by the way, who are going to want to be a part of this global supply ecosystem, they want to be able to sell that as a co-branded offering into the marketplace as well. So I doubt, to answer your question, I doubt that there's going to be anybody that fits that profile, that's going to be a part of the global supply ecosystem in the intercloud, and then say, okay, so help me sell this into the marketplace. Most of them are going to have a direct sales organization, and most of them are actually going to have an indirect channel organization that's going to recruit and nurture partners to sell their offering, either as an agent in an agency model, a resale model, or a white label model. So that's actually a good point. That go-to-market infrastructure in terms of how that they're going to get the offering into the marketplace will need to be a component that we need to consider as we start to build this out.
So Bob, maybe Mike, you can also add, for example, now that will be, for example, using that example, a Cisco-powered device that will, through the CMSP program, also be promoting those solutions to our resale partners at large as well.
Absolutely, right. That's the spirit of the Cisco-powered program and CMSP, the Cloud Managed Services program. You guys know there's 3 tracks to that. There's a builder, a provider, and a reseller. And we really are strongly encouraging our sales teams, our channel teams, and our partner teams to marry up with one another so they can help themselves with capacity in the marketplace and hitting different segments of the market that their direct sales teams can't hit.
Yeah.
So leverage the resale community to do that.
So let's say they have a Cisco-powered offer. We're going to, through the program where we're trying to promote people to become resellers, we'll actually give some additional incentives to our channel to go work with the Telmexes of the world or whoever the provider is, as well as pay our own salespeople when that offer is sold. So we're actually trying to make sure we close the loop on a 360 basis, not only have that provider sell directly as they do, but also encourage our channel and our salespeople to also promote that where it makes sense with the end user.
But one of the keys of that whole program in building out the global intercloud or network of clouds is that we are providing it's a standard infrastructure, Cisco infrastructure, with our application-centric infrastructure, all of our technology built in. So that infrastructure will be part of the ecosystem. As we get the ecosystem players to sign up around the globe, they have to agree they're using Cisco standard infrastructure and putting workloads on top of that. Therefore, that if you have a workload in one particular area, what it gives them the ability to do is move that workload around the globe. So if you take, for instance, if a SunGuard, for instance, signs up to be one of our intercloud providers and they lead in disaster recovery solutions, they can build that on our platform and they can leverage the ecosystem of partners we'll have around the globe to take that workload and be able to deliver it somewhere else around the world. And they see that as a huge advantage. Right,
Beautiful. Other questions?
I'm Robert.channels.ca. Will we be seeing something like what you've done with what you were just talking about, the cloud-powered VIP? Will we be seeing that brought to the new classes of partners, the software partners, and that you are looking to bring in to encourage that connection between Cisco channel partners and those new classes of partners?
So let me comment. So the answer is, if it's not ESV, but they're not buying anything from us because they're developing a solution, then giving them VIP doesn't make sense because you're giving them a VIP for having sold something. They're not selling anything. But what they seem to be interested in a lot, and maybe you can comment, Bruce, is market development funds. The dollars to help them market into our channel or into our customer base through our sales organization. And so we are putting a pool of dollars in the market development side to be able to help those partners get access into our marketplace more effectively and promote their offer. So they get paid when they sell whatever it is they're selling. And then what we want to do is have our partners get paid on the items that complement their products with ours.
Yeah, a lot of it's about, they want to see support from us in helping them create a market. So it's around working with them to create sales and marketing plans, to go to events with them, to brand them at different shows, to include them in shows that we have, and where that's the kind of capabilities that we're building up depending upon what level they are within the program.
questions? Here, anybody else? Questions?
What was most of what we announced pretty straightforward? I mean, was the... No? Go, Paul.
Prefer a certification for IOE. We were releasing it in 2015, but can you tell me briefly what you want that to focus on?
So you're referring to a possible IOE specialization. Will that work? Yes, more of a specialization, not a certification. So you know how I announced a number of different solution specializations? One of the ones that we're looking at is going to be a family of IOE oriented. So that is going to be forthcoming, but we're not ready to launch it or announce it at this time. But as you saw from John's demos, there's going to be a lot of areas where we're going to have to enable partners around this journey around the IOE, and specializations will be our vehicle to help do that, both to enable and to scale. You already knew something that we didn't even say anything about.
Just a quick question on the kind of profitability side of things. Obviously, you talked about kind of loading up the front end a little more in years to come. Does that mean there'll be slightly less focus on back end rebates? What's going to happen on the back end side of things?
No, we're going to continue the back end's growing. I mean, the $1.5 billion of rebates that we give between our services and our products has been going up every year. But we think that there's just so much on the upfront side that we have not been leveraging as much. So we think that's the next frontier of more, a contribution to the profit of the partner with better utilization of programs, as well as giving them more preference. So that just tends to be a focus, but it's not an intention to say, we're taking this one down, we're putting this one up. We're going to keep this where it is, and we're going to try to get you more through this way.
And that was, another, again, we do a lot of listening to our partners, and by traveling around a lot, that was a very consistent theme, is that, the partners are making significant pre-sales investments to help us win business, and they felt that the partner differentiation between them and other partners who are bidding is just not high enough to make that investment. And we listened and we made some changes. I think there were very positive reactions to that.
And Paolo, just a slight clarification, it's an IoT specialization.
Yeah.
Versus IoT and other things. All right, other questions? David, Paolo, do you have any questions?
I'd just like to clarify the name of the specialization that we haven't yet announced.
Okay, we're going to talk about it. Let's at least talk about it.
Thanks for the announcement, Ross.
Happy to provide none of the details.
Well, we thank everybody. Thank you for being here. I know it's a long way to come for many of you.